Hydrolyte. Tim, how was the hunt tonight?
Yeah, it was patient. He's slick. He's hard to hit. He's all over the place. He's hard to hit. So it was all about being patient and finding the right shots and not unleashing too many punches. You know, usually I try put on that much pressure and I guess opponents are starting to get used to it and they're starting to watch. So you got to do something different each time. So yeah, you got to change it up.
There's a lot made of his power.
What's that?
There was a lot made of his power in the build-up. What did it feel like in there?
In all honesty, yeah, I could feel a little bit of a sting, but I've sparred like super middleweights, light heavyweights, so it's like nothing I've not felt before.
Were you surprised at how tough he was?
Yeah, man. I thought he was out. Like I could hear his breathing. He was like, no offense, but he was like moaning. He was doing all these weird noises in one of the rounds, and I was like, man, how is he still standing? He was landing all these uppercuts, and yeah, he was. He's got a heart, that's for sure. You know, a lot of fighters would have quit. That's facts. You know, facts. But he's a deep down inside. That's why I gave him so much respect because I knew he's a warrior, and he had that warrior mentality. He said it himself, kill or be killed, and he shows that.
He's the toughest guy you've faced. Like maybe not the toughest fight, but the toughest individual.
No, I think there's been a few. Like every fighter, a lot of different fighters are tough. Wade Ryan, early in my career, he was very tough. Tyrell Boucher, he was tough as well. Yeah, there's plenty of toughness out there.
Inoue took some punishment from him.
Inoue, man. Oh, bro. You should have seen him the morning after the fight.
George, how was it sitting ringside and watching Tim break down Mendoza the way he did?
Look, I absolutely loved it. I thought it was a great Tszyu performance. It's, again, different to what we've seen his last few fights and something that was super impressive too. I think for everyone that was sitting there watching tonight, you could see how dangerous Brian Mendoza was. And we all talked about his power leading up to the fight, and every time he threw one of them big punches, I think everyone held their breath for a moment, and then you see Tim just shake it off and keep walking forward and stick to the plan. And we absolutely love it. But again, what Tim said, full respect to Mendoza. I don't know how he kept walking after some of them hits. And their team and the family, the Mendoza family, was a pleasure to work with all week. A lot of respect for them and their family. Appreciate them coming all the way out here and putting on a great show for the people here. But that was a Tszyu show today, and that's what we love about Australian boxing, is that Tszyu really puts us on the map, and he did that again today. I think that it's another big one before we head over to the US now and take on whatever's next. Vegas.
That's it.
Tim, you sort of almost feel like you're at that level where you're making phenomenal fighters look pretty ordinary because you're just at that level. And I guess the risk now becomes that these guys that you want are going to sit there and balk and go, actually, I don't really want a piece of that. Like, that's where you're at. It's almost like a double-edged sword.
Yeah, exactly. But having this gives you a bit of bargaining power. You know, so when you have this, and they can come get it. You know, otherwise, if I didn't have this, it's risk. That's what the position I was at before the Harrison fight. You know.
Do you feel like maybe you felt like this for a long time, but like I can't see anyone that's not an Alvarez or a Crawford or a Spence at that elite level giving you any sort of trouble now? Yeah,
that's the level I'm at. You know, it's the super fight level, and I don't talk shit out of my ass. You know, I'm actually up there. I learned from a young age, my parents taught me, if you say you're someone or something, or you're going to say something, you're going to do it. You know, and I believe that I am at that, not that 1% anymore, at that 0.01%, where it is the super fight type level, the big T-Mobile Arena type level fights. And that's where we're heading. And, you know, to finish off here with a bang, or saying the last hooray, it's good.
When would you like? I mean, I know that these men want to you, but like the middleweight division's, you know, asking for Tszyu to go and clean it out as well.
Both. Super middle, Super Welter. I,
How high do you reckon you can get to? Like we've seen Canelo do it. You've
Yeah.
got the figure where you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
easily do super
yeah,
middleweight.
100%. Like, I can just walk people down as well. Super middleweights, so you can say light heavyweight. Who knows?
Light heavyweight?
Yeah, Anthony Joshua, even a heavyweight. No, I'm not talking that
Timmy,
much.
you've got your hit list here.
Yeah, that's
Mendoza's been crossed off. Who's next?
Yeah, Charlo. That's the name that I've wanted before all of this. Before all this list, I wanted Charlo number 1.
Has he stuffed it up a bit, Tim? Because like, when a guy jumps up 2 levels to take a money fight like that, the last thing he wants to do now is come down back to super welterweight and fight a guy that's as hungry as you are. Like, it's he's put himself in a kind of tough spot.
Yeah, well, he was in that tough spot because I became mandatory, you know. So he was able to sort of maneuver his way and make his little payday. If I got him out in January, that payday wouldn't have ever happened. His career would have been done. He's got his one last fight left.
Tim, how much do you think it does his head in that you've got that belt now? That was his.
Absolutely. If Ben Damon's mentioned his name, the bloke was, before his fight against Canelo, he was just going nuts. Mendoza's gonna KO you. All right, bro. What happened? What happened?
Do you think he's watched that fight tonight?
Well, this one,
Yeah.
me and Mendoza. You'd think so, especially when it's the same. Like we're on the radar, you know. You'd think so.
Sean Porter said this week that he doesn't think Charlo will come back. That he doesn't. That he
I don't blame him. I think in my opinion, I think he'll be on a 1-year honeymoon, spending that cash, wasting that cash.
Tim, you're obviously massive in Sydney. They named the stadium in Newcastle after you. You call the Gold Coast your second home.
Yeah,
Yesterday at the weigh-in, you
Zoolander.
said, yesterday at the weigh-in, you said that this is our land, that this is your land.
Yeah.
Did it, like when we were sitting with the boxing community today, it felt like we were all in the ring with you. Did you feel like that on this journey for this fight?
100%. And the funny thing, before this fight, I was watching Troy.
Yeah.
So in my head, I was like, man, this is like for the people. This is for everyone. I was in those cars. When I rocked up in those cars with the entrance, I was thinking, you know what? If this was back in the Asian days, this would be the horses coming in. The horses. I felt that, you know, and I felt like as soon as I walked into this stadium, it was like, this is for my people. It was unbelievable, you know. Not many people get to experience, you know. A lot of people can fight for world titles and defend world titles, but to do that beats any world title. That beats this, man. To be doing that every fight.
How much does it change now when you go over to the US and you're effectively Mendoza here today, like in terms of support?
I feel like because Australia's a small little, I guess, town compared to the world. I feel like we do come together and travel together, and there will be people there. You know, so I feel like I've connected with the people, and we've got some sort of connection there. So that's why, again, I feel like when we go to Vegas, it's not me just going. I feel like there's going to be a lot of you, and a lot of you guys as well. Don't lie.
George, you've sat here so many times. How special does this one feel?
Look, I think it is a real special moment. I think the journey that we've been on to get here has been really special, and knowing that now, you know, we leave here with the support of Australia and going on to take to the rest of the world and take them big global fights. It feels like a little bit of a farewell moment, knowing that we're heading into that, but. I still also feel that it's just the beginning of it all too, because, I mean, any opportunity that we get to be able to bring fights back here, we always will, but when you're talking about the hit list here, the Tszyu hit list, they're very hard to make in Australia, so, and plus, we'd love to do it over there in some of them big venues, them great iconic venues, and I think that's what Tszyu deserves. That's what he is. He's built Australia up to where we are right now in global boxing, and now he's ready to keep doing it overseas and keep building that name and keep putting that reputation out there.
Was there a point, Timmy, where you felt like you just stopped worrying about his power? Because obviously it was a cautious start and you're trying to work him out and like you know what he can do, but definitely felt like there was a point there when you maybe felt like he wouldn't hurt you.
Yeah, I felt that in like round 5 maybe. I was like, all right, sweet. I've sort of figured him out. I know what he's bringing. He's coming in moving. I couldn't find the distance because he was always moving, so it was hard to figure out. But yeah, I was always concerned. This fight, I had to focus 100% on just staying focused. A lot of the times in fights, you sometimes doze off and you go to your own little world, and that's where you get knocked out. And this is the guy, you couldn't do that. You know, I was very aware of his hook. My hand didn't leave here. And I was very aware of his uppercut, the right uppercut, because he knocked it out, and his rib. Everything was blocking. You know. Yeah, it was like slow motion.
How'd you pull up? You look fine. It doesn't look like there's too much of a mark on you. How's the body
No,
feel?
not
How's
much.
the hands feel?
Stomach's a bit sore, but I'm alright.
Probably just hungry.
Yeah, maybe that.
Tim, you're a South Sydney fan. The NRL's going over to Vegas at the
Yeah.
start of next year. Is that something you want to be a part of? Is that going to be the next fight?
Yeah, I was saying, let them get their checkbook out and get it sorted.
Well, look, I think it works out as a good date anyway. March is probably a good timeline
Yeah.
anyway, so we'll see what happens over the coming month. And
Yeah, that'll be
Glory,
sick.
glory.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
What would that mean to you to do that over there? You've got your great mates like Cody and Latrell all going.
Look, it's
across.
not for me. It's more for the people. You know, to go over and watch the rugby, but to finish up on a boxing fight. That's a holiday right there for any Aussie sporting fan.
absolutely.
If Charlo's out, if Charlo's going to stay out for beyond March,
Yeah.
I think, who would you want to fight that day?
I think the thing is there's options. There's options.
Spence?
Errol Spencer's gone up.
Spence?
Oh, is Spence coming?
Yeah, he's already gone up to 154.
Spence?
How about
Errol?
And,
how about
yeah.
Canelo Alvarez?
Canelo, I'll fight Canelo. I'll fight anyone, man.
Do you want to go in March? Would that be
March?
Is that
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
productive?
That'd be perfect. You know,
That we know
some
rest
time
well.
to rest, recover. Busy year, three fights this year, all top level.
Big fights, yeah.
All top level, sold out crowds. It's been a busy year, man. I've been up and down. I haven't had any time at home, so it's just been non-stop. But yeah, it'll be good to just rest, recover, and then just go ham again.
What's this year done for you? Like, when you go back to the start fight in comparison, like, I think it's changed since then, certainly on a world level too.
Yeah, in terms of my career, I think respect is there. But yeah, my hunger, I've changed as a person. I've become just solely dedicated to what I do, and I think everyone around me understands that, and that's the best thing about it. And I'm proud of the person I've become this year for taking on these fights, for staying busy, because again, you change it as an athlete, as a person, and it only teaches you the good things.
Tim, this obviously was your last hurrah here in Australia, and I know you've got goals that you want to go to the States and achieve, but is there a thing you can see in the future where you go over there and you take all 4 belts and hit, tick off the hit list, and then come back to Australia and grace the fans again?
Right now, no. Right now, I'm thinking solely going there. That's my next goal. And then after that, once that's achieved, then my next goal happens, and next goal, and it just keeps climbing up. I don't focus on 5 steps. I'm focused on the next path of glory.
So you love John Wick, you love Troy, you're called the Soul Taker, so we have to call you Tszyu the Soul Taker, John Wick, Tszyu.
You know what? I just booked Italy after I watched Equalizer 3.
What?
Yeah, so I'm going to that fishing village that Denzel Washington was at. I'm gonna stay there for a week and just, I don't know, maybe move there in the future.
Yeah.
Be
2024,
Be
the
Denzel, yeah.
Tell them you wanted to watch Gladiator, but it's a 3-hour movie that lasted an hour.
When do you think Charlo will want to get a fight?
Man, that's a question for him, not for me. I'm ready.
Yeah.
George, do you get a sense that fight can get made?
The Charlo fight, I feel the same as Tim. I feel like it's a decision for him to make. If I watch Tszyu fight, I'll be looking at what the other options are for myself as well, rather than jumping in with Tim, because it's a Tszyu win. He steps in with Charlo, so that's why the hit list exists. That's why there's other opportunities out there that will be pursued. But anytime Charlo puts his hand up, I know Tim's saying yes straight away.
Tim, one of the lines in the movie Troy is immortality. It's
Yeah.
yours to get.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you were on the cusp of securing your name alongside the immortals in boxing history?
No, not yet. That'd be disrespectful to the immortals. I'm a realist, and by winning a world title, doesn't compare to nothing what my dad did. You know, he was a 3-time world champion for 10 years. No other man has done that. Him and Jeff Fennick are the two top, you know, and that's immortality for me. And still is a long way to go, but I'm on the path to immortality.
Good answer, George.
That's a great answer. Well done, Timmy Tszyu. Great answer.
Thank you, Tim Tszyu.
Yeah.
Thank you.